Hurrah! Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. It's nice to see you all here. We're going to talk about exactly what JPMorgan says. They are on the news, screaming about it, shouting about it, making videos about it. They are saying that this is an opportunity to buy the dip. And this is in relation to the new Omicron or whatever they call it, the variant that they've had. And obviously the stock markets are crashing and everything. But what they feel is this could be positive for the future. This is what they've said, right? And of course, I'm going to show you the link and everything. But they're saying this is an opportunity. Now, what a timing. This is what I have to say. I just see myself in this time of the season where they are giving news where the previous news was everybody was bearish. Guys, this is it. Bear market's in. Every single news corporation was talking about it. And now you've got banks coming out telling their investors that, guys, actually, this could be an opportunity to buy the freaking dip and start moving up. Wow. That's all I have to say. Wow. I see Bubble here. Awesome, my brother. I see Custard here. Custard was here, actually. I don't know what happened to Custard. Custard just vanished. But yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, interesting. But that's everyone there. Now, I wanted to open up this conversation with the crypto fear and greed index. Now, I will refresh just to kind of show you what's going on, but I wanted to show you this weekly data here, and you can see these bottoms here, right? So you can see we've got these bottoms here, we've got these tops here. And what I'm seeing is how we've kind of come back to this level of this, what do you call this? This 32, whatever, this fear and greed section here, 20 something it was, what was it? 32 right now. Still here. Boot. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you. So we see this level here, and we're seeing this kind of a bullish divergence forming here, and also the base coming back to that base to find that strong support to propel the market forward. Because you can see every time we've did something like this where we've come back to this support, we've seen a massive push above. And I think that's what's happened right now. We're coming in for a reset. Of course, a few days ago, I also mentioned my thesis on, I believe this could actually continue into September, deep into September, 2023 up to September. So I'm seeing a lot of data suggesting that this bull market is not over, So if we refresh this, just to refresh this and see what's going on, because this is from yesterday's data, seeing at 31. It's brilliant. It's constantly coming into this section. And this is exactly when the signals are coming out. The guys, this is the time we turn the market. This is actually bullish. So I am seeing data. I will show you exactly what I saw. I'm seeing USD is bloody, which is good. Of course, BTC is the only coin that is slightly bearish in my opinion, but that's because we opened the month on 56,000 something, so it has been kind of bearish. Looking at the data, and it could be a short-term thing, it could be a long-term thing, but that's more of a hopium thing, and I'm going to take away from the hopium and continue with other stuff. So when we look at some of the other coins, we can see we've got massive pumps, like Knowles pumping big today, GCX, God knows what that is, pumping big today. Actually, I do know what that is. Atom pumping big today, and you can see GTO, GTCXE, whatever, COS, a whole bunch of these fresh coins or new coins or coins that we haven't really followed much doing these big pumps. So Knowles is an old project, 159% pump, happy days, right? GTO 88%, happy days. And you see this in the market, that majority of these top boys, I mean, some of them are not top boys, but they are doing these massive gains. So far, so good. Also, let's have a look at the bubbles. We can see Matic 12% today, Atom 16% today, Gala down, not to worry. DeFi 19% up today. So we see a whole bunch of them making these moves. All right. So let's see what's going on. Albin says, "What's my thoughts on V-Launch?" If you followed the Discord properly, you should have noticed that I've already pushed a message there days ago, if not maybe a week ago or something, and I said, guys, keep an eye on VLaunch. So I did mention VLaunch to you guys, you know, and I feel VLaunch is one of those hype coins that you can potentially make a whole bunch of money, solely because a lot of YouTubers are coming together and they're going to make a lot of money off you, obviously, but they're coming together to create this massive hype. 120,000 people have subscribed to their Telegram group. People are hyped up. You know, all these massive promises are coming on. But of course, these YouTubers didn't just do it for nothing. They got their reason. They're actually investors in this. Investors how? I don't know. You know, so, but if they've paid money, then they expect to make money. And of course, they're going to be making hundreds of X's more than an average user. But if you can get in at that right moment, buy cheap, sell high, get the hell out, nothing wrong with that. That's one of the reasons why I did say, guys, keep an eye on this one. This one has the potential to do something good. So go and look on Discord. You'll see the conversations there. I did mention this. I did put this on your radar at least a week ago. So please have a look. We can see today BTC 4,300 came back into the exchange. Ethereum came back into the exchange. Again, none of this makes any difference to us. When we look at these weekly, we can see that that does make a little bit more significant difference, like 161,000 Ethereum coming back in. We want to see where this money goes. You know, over the monthly, we can see 16,000, not much, and 2.5 mil on Ethereum. So yes, all of this is signaling that there may be some sort of a bearish thing, but I've been looking at whale stats and what's the other one called? Whale Watch. So I've been keeping a close eye on them. And what I've noticed is a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of Ethereum are moving out of savings, right? A lot of Ethereum and a lot of Bitcoin are moving out of savings. Sorry. Moving wallet to wallet on OTC, and a lot of USDT is moving out of savings. So a lot of these USDT that were locked, and I'm talking millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, have started to move out of wallets like Nexo wallet, BlockFi wallet. They're moving out and back into exchanges. Okay, so understand this. The coins are moving left, right, and center. That's a different story. Wallet to wallet, a lot of OTC transactions happening, and market just went parabolic, like, you know, in the sense that so many OTC trades, to the point there was one where 15,000 BTC was moved from a private wallet to private wallet. That's OTC, my friends. You can see that. Of course, a lot of these coins are also moving into exchanges to do exchange OTCs. That's also there as well. So we see this massive bullish action going on. And also, as I said, USD pegs coming out of savings. So these people were saving and making 8%, 9%, 10%, whatever. They are now going into exchanges. You don't send hundreds of millions of dollars of USDT to an exchange to sell your USDT. You sell your BTC to sell. You sell any coin other than USD. You don't need to sell your USD there when you're making 8-9% interest per year. So all of this said to me, everyone's getting ready for a massive leg up. And this all came to attention after we had the JPMorgan news to breaking out, basically. So I will show you the news and you'll understand a lot more from this as well. Also, let's have a look at crypto quant to see exactly what's going on, how much data is moving in and out. Basically, we just want to see this. So when we're looking at BTC, yes, we have a massive spike here. Also, I don't need to go into this. Ethereum still the same, moving sideways, nothing much to worry about. We see leverage ratio coming down. Now, this is important. We do see a leverage cooling down here, and I am happy about this because this does make me happy. When I see leverage starting to come down now, very good. Very good. So that's the kind of stuff we want to see, because we are over leveraged, guys. We are over leveraged. You know, regardless what we say, like even here, for example, all exchange futures open interest, right? If you look at the open interest, you can see we are very high, and slightly taking a little bit of a dip right now. A little bit of a dip, nothing too much. But again, this is very high, very high. So the market hasn't been so bullish ever in history. This is like the first time. 2021 is going to be a year to remember, you know, of course, unless things change in the future. But this has been the most bullish year. You know, 2022, 2021, the most bullish season we've ever had. And we're at the pinnacle right now where it's like, okay, is the market going to stick around or is the market going to go? so far, what we're seeing is the market doesn't want to go that easily. The market does not want to go that easily, apart from a bunch of over leveraged traders, and it is reducing. So far we have 52,000 today compared to before. I see him here also, my brother, nice to see you. So that's the situation right now. Also Grayscale was at 16, still at 16. Sorry, no, it's at 14 now. Wow. Okay, so that's flipped bullish now. The reason I can't see is because my bloody brightness is down. So, but that's what's going on. I'm seeing this has become bullish now. Wow. Okay. All of a sudden, complete 360. It's all good. But again, why? And this is why. We see this situation here. Let me refresh this. Fortune magazine. In fact, you can go to Google and see the whole thing. This is one of the, what's it called? What's his name? JPMorgan. I forgot his name. What's his name? His name was it? Anyway, if you go to fortune.com, you can see this, right? JPMorgan says it's time to buy the dip, arguing COVID is entering a less dangerous phase after Omicron, right? And this is one of these CEOs or whatever his name is. What was his name? George something. His name is George something, right? Whatever his name is, right? But this is what's going on. They are seeing this variant to be less dangerous and actually killing off the more dangerous variants. So they're saying this, the pandemic recovery could be accelerated and is actually being accelerated because of this. And this is the opportunity, you know. And I literally just did a simple search. I'll be honest with you. Look, I just did a simple search. JPMorgan, Omicron, right? And all of these articles came. And I didn't really have to go that far because there's a video, right? You can actually go and see the video. So this is what I opened up just to come and see this. And if you just listen to the interview, you'll see the argument that being made. It's like, guys, while everybody's panicking, this is the opportunity where the big boys are going and buying. And this is what they're basically doing. So this is on another level. This is on another level. Do you know what I mean? When you see this kind of information coming out, you know this is a clear signal telling everyone exactly what's about to happen. So I'm going to move into the charts now. Have a look at these charts because this is big news. This was big news. This was big news. Also, I'm on the 4-hourly charts here. I've got something I haven't shown you guys for a very long time. My support resistance clusters, basically. So you can see this is where the resistance are, strong resistance are, very little resistance here. And you can see where the supports are, strong support here, a very strong support here. And that's about it. But there's more to this chart than meets the eye. Just by keeping this on the 4-hourly, we do see some nice patterns showing up. So one of the patterns we see is this higher high, higher low pattern. But if you observe carefully, you also see this other pattern forming here right now. So what we see here is we have a bottom here, we have a bottom here, and we have a higher bottom here. So we have a lower low, a lower low, a lower low here. But if you start looking at this, it's actually forming into a higher low. So the question is what does all of this represent, and what is all of this pattern showing me? Well, this is what I see, and this is going to shock you. Check this out. I see this pattern here. I know a lot of people have been talking about, what do you call this, the head and shoulders, the bearish head and shoulders. Well, after putting this overlay, just to confirm that I'm not making shit up here, I see this. And this is a bullish head and shoulders. This is a bullish head and shoulders. You've got the left shoulder, you've got the right shoulder, you've got the head here. This is a reverse. This is a bullish head and shoulders. That's what I saw. So the signals that I'm getting are showing that yes, this market is ripe, number one, and it's ready. It's ready. It's ready to do some sort of a breakout. Of course, when we start looking at other data points, we can see who's in control. So over these 4 hours, that's what we see. We see, you know, the what you call this? The bears are in control, right? The bears are in control. We see all of this data here. The bears are in control, but we also see a reset coming. For me to show you this, I'm going to move into my older chart just to kind of show you what kind of a reset I'm looking at. So I'm on the 8-hourly chart. And what I see is on the RSI, something fascinating has happened. So we had this trend line here, and you can see this. We've started to creep back up and test this trend line. These are on the 8-hourly, guys, 8-hourly. And we see this reset coming in. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, ah, okay. So what's happening right now? Are we trending down or are we still trending up? And what I see is how we are kind of bouncing around here, still moving forward. I like that. I look at the charts itself and I say, okay, let's look at the charts itself and see what the charts show me. So I drew two triangles here because this is two specific trends here. So you see trend 1 here. This is a micro trend based on the 8-hourly candles. And what we're seeing here is we're creating these higher lows compared to these ones. So we are trending up. And where we are being rejected is actually on the trend lines itself. If you look carefully, we are being rejected on the trend line itself. So this is telling me that this is trying to break out. This is trying to break out. Now, I'm laughing because I see something that is very, very powerful on this. Very powerful. Because if we did do a breakout from this zone to this zone, we did a breakout anywhere around here. This breakout shoots us straight to $74,000. $74,000. Have we mentioned $74,000 on this channel before? Think about it. I'll let you go and tell me basically if we have done this or not. Also, guys, if you're new to the channel, smash those like button, hit those subscribe button if you haven't already, press that notification button, press all, join the Discord community. We're also there as well, and we're coming out with some crazy stuff. Of course, you don't want to miss any of this stuff. So this is what I'm seeing so far, right? You know, on these trends, like on these shorter time, you know, for example, these 8-hour trends, this is what I'm seeing. So this is obviously a longer data from 8th of November. We can see that we've had this dip from the 8th of November, and since then we've been in this particular range, a downward trend, and we're coming back to test this right now. We bounced perfectly on the support zones and moving forward right now. We just want to break out, right? So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to take this off because I just did it just to show you guys. I'll leave it on there, I'll save it so you guys could see this, but this is the pattern I'm seeing. You know, of course, remember I told you for this whole thing to invalidate, we need to get back to this $59,800 level to $60,800, which is anywhere between $60,000 to $61,000. We need to break this neckline in order to be super bullish. So far, yes, everything is indicating that we are bearish. Everything. But maybe there's a slight chance that there's a lot of money just sitting there, is ready to come back in. I think we're about to be surprised. Because this is an inverse head and shoulder, not a normal head and shoulder that breaks down. Right? We're looking at an inverse head and shoulder, and this is what I really like about this, is an inverse head and shoulder, not this one. Right? So I'm seeing an inverse head and shoulder. Let me activate that on 1 second, sorry. Right, we see an inverse head and shoulder. Also, if you look carefully, this is technically more of a reverse triple bottom pattern. So you see bottom here, this was the low, and then it created a higher low. Now it can only go up. Crazy stuff. Alpha Ping, what's up, my brother? I see you joined our Discord and you left. I see Mustafa, awesome, my brother, nice to see you. Yeah, Alpha, I don't blame you if you've left the Discord. I don't blame you because I'm not that active on Discord solely. Look, I've got 1,000,001 things I need to do. I'm a real guy, I need to do real things as well. So yeah, maybe you didn't get what you were expecting, or I don't know what it was, but that was it, bro. So yeah, I mean, you're welcome to join again if you want. Up to you. No one's forcing you to do anything. But this is what I'm seeing, guys. This is what I'm seeing. So for me, I see these patterns forming. And obviously, you know, on BTC, I'm seeing how it's coming back to test this and how the rejection is happening exactly on this trend line, right? The rejection points are on this particular downward trend line. This is all indicating that we should see a nice little breakout. Also, looking at VPVR, you can see that on the 8-hourly, the strongest point of control is around this level here. This 57 is like the point of control. This is the strongest area of traffic. Once we cross over this 58,000, where is it? Yeah, 58,675. We can start pushing forward. Left due to inactivity. Yes, our servers are not the most active. Most of our people there, Alpha, most of the guys there are, how would I say this? I think like 30, 40-year-old adults, and they do talk if someone talks to, but I don't think many people engage. And of course, we're not the biggest server out there. It's actually quite a new server, but it is there for outside YouTube communication. And of course, in the future, if more and more people coming, I think more and more young people coming, and they want to communicate and engage, it should be very active. But most stuff isn't. When I'm there, I can make it go active, but I don't have all day just to go and sit there and do this end of the day. So I'm just being honest with you. But yeah, I mean, if you feel that it's inactive and you want to go, that's fine, bro. No one's blaming you, and I understand, nothing personal at P days. So see when VLaunch launches, will it be on ICO or is it like a public market? A little confused on this. VLaunch, you have to find out from VLaunch itself what they want to do. So as far as I know, they are having an ICO kind of a thing. Give me a second, let's go in here. I know VLaunch is doing an ICO. All right, this one, VPAD, they are doing an ICO as far as I'm concerned, but there's no other information with this. If you do go to their website, maybe you might see, what's going on, but that's about it. Literally, they didn't put any information, right? They're trying to control everybody by taking them to the Twitter, join the Telegram and pump it up there, but they haven't put anything. There's no tokenomics, there's no contracts, nothing. Anything you hear from them in their groups, on their Telegram, on their Twitter. So they're pumping the Telegram and Twitter, which is pretty smart. They're not giving you any information here, so you are clueless what's going to happen. I see Free Energy. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you here. Alpha says, somehow I feel that people try to keep BTC in certain range for bigger buyers in January, but that is probably a poor judgment from my side. No, you're correct, because the thing is we are going to see, I've mentioned this on another video recently as well, we are going to see a dump on BTC, or probably the entire market, in January. We will see a dump in January, right? And when we do see this dump in January, that's usually for tax purposes, and that's when they will buy the dips. And I have mentioned this yesterday and the day before as well, where I feel this market could be prolonged. I feel this bull run isn't over. This bull run is going to be different to everything else. This is the first one that breaks that 4-year cycle nonsense that we have. Because technically we've never had a 4-year cycle. I've tried to demonstrate this many times. Let me get rid of all of this. Switch this off as well. Right, I want to show you this, right? We've never actually had, I know a lot of people turn around and say, oh, we've got a 4-year cycle. No, not entirely. I don't know why people just say this 4-year cycle. We've had 4-year peaks. We've had 4-year peaks, and even that's broken. So the first peak we had was in 2011. Then we came back and we had a peak in 2013. If that's what they want to call it, fine. But it wasn't even, it was a 2-year peak. Then from 2013 to 2017 was the first time we've had the 4-year peak, right? And then I know a lot of people got excited and thought that 2021 could be a peak, but there's nothing stopping us from continuing for another year or two. Because remember, the situation we're in, everything is different. We're not in a market cycle, the traditional market cycles that we have. We had a pandemic. We've been in a pandemic for God knows almost 2 years now. Think about it. This changes everything. More people are sitting at home playing about with their thumbs, right? Got nothing better to do. More and more people are curious. They got more time to watch social media, watch YouTube, go on Twitter, mess around, sitting at home. So when people are free, they don't have anything to do. Their minds are free. There's a lot more they can observe and a lot more they can soak in. Right, and that's what's happening. So this is more to do with psychology, and this is exactly what's happening. So this bull run could easily last until 2022, 2023, and that definitely breaks the 4-year cycle top, right? So remember this, the 4-year cycle top was something we've only seen once, 13 to 17, that was it, But when we talk about bull runs, we know that bull runs typically don't last for that long. I mean, they last quite a long time compared to the most, right? So bear runs don't last for that long, but bull runs, we know that we had one bull run from 11 to 13. So we had an 11 to 13 bull run, you know, a few months there. And then here, if you look carefully, we had a 15 to 17 bull run, 2 years. And this time we've technically had a bull run start just at the end of 18, beginning of 19. Technically we've been in it like almost, according to me, at least for my judgment, right? And this is when I re-entered the market. I've been in it for like almost 3 years now. So was it 3 years? Yeah, 3 years, close to 3 years now. So not bad, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't see this 4-year cycle nonsense, you know. People are expecting, oh yes, we got a Bitcoin 4-year bull market. No, the only 4-year thing that is confirmed and guaranteed is the halvening, guys. Nothing else. And the next halvening is in 2023 and it's coming. So that's what I'm seeing right now. All I'm seeing is a market reset. So from everything that I'm observing, all I'm seeing is a market reset, market just coming back, possibly going to do another wave up. And that should be fairly interesting. I mean, we don't want to fall into these zones. I mean, just look at this VPVR. You can see, you know, that's just so crazy. We don't want to fall into this. Even this area here is fairly light. Where we are right now is actually fairly light, you know. So in comparison to everything else on the bottom that we saw, this is actually not that bad. This is actually fairly light. Of course, we do have a few zones. So we have one zone here and one zone here, which we need to beat in order for us to move forward. And I think that will just give the market that push to say we are bullish. Albin says, I heard on the Insta they are starting to post. Apparently, it will come out this month. Biggest YouTube scammers behind it. Don't fall for that BH. Exactly, Alpha Pain. That's what I'm saying as well, because you've got the biggest shillers out there all of a sudden coming out and saying how they have, you know, they're launching this, they're launching that. But as I said, they're going to make 100x out of you. Yes. So if you want to time it and you actually make the most of it, and you get out as soon as you can, yes, it's something that you probably would be doing. But that's all I'm saying. Just keep it on your radars. Watch what it does. It totally depends when it's enough for them. I'm being honest with you. I see Tamil here. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you. It's been a long time since I last saw you. Tamil, you sent me some link on Discord to join some community, and I asked you for what? You didn't answer back, bro. Maybe you should answer back and say why. Because I need to understand. If you want me to join a community, why should I join a community? You know what I mean? I just need to know. I see Buzz here. Awesome. Hello. Do you think Cardano will pump soon? Cardano started pumping yesterday, my brother. But we'll talk a little bit more on this, yeah? But as Alpha Ping says, yes, the biggest YouTubers out there, I mean these guys like have 1 million subscribers. Usually they're getting sponsored by Bybit, this, that, whatever. Big sponsored channels making millions of dollars a year. With millions of people, and I feel they should have responsibility towards their subscribers and keep them safe. Instead, they've started to come in and create projects. In fact, Crypto, Carl from the Moon, and a few others, they're doing the V-launch. And then Carl recently came, and I think I took a screenshot, because I'm one of those. If I see some bullshit, I take a screenshot. Oh yeah, here you go. Yeah. Let me I'm going to zoom this in just to show you guys what kind of stupidness I'm seeing. So Carl from the Moon, I don't know if you could see this, right? I'm hoping to show you this. So Carl from the Moon, I'll read it out to you. Carl Runefelt, that's his name. 15 years in crypto. He doesn't even look 15 years old. Anyway, 15 years in crypto, 1 million followers in YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Co-founder of Bitcoin Census. So he's one of the co-founders there, and founder and CEO of The Moon, right? And he's saying he's got 15 years experience in this game. I mean, hold up, 15 years in crypto? Sorry, guys. When did crypto come out? 2009? I must be getting something wrong. He's been in it for 15 years. That's his latest scam. This is his latest scam. So I took a screenshot of this bullshit. I'll share it on Discord. But that's what's going on. You know, 10 years plus. You see all of this nonsense here. And this is what it is. They're shilling this to their 1 million subscribers. And yeah, they're gonna be basically raping a lot of people, taking a lot of their money, unfortunately. So I'm gonna be, you know, quite observant. But I am watching them, and I'm just waiting for them to be exposed in what they're doing. But yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Let's look at Cardano just for the sake of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's just go into Cardano's while I remember, guys, because I've got so many things in my head. But JPMorgan says it's time to buy the dip. So Cardano saw a nice little pump yesterday. Of course, after the pump, we are seeing a little bit of a dip, which is fine. You can see that we've got this bigger range, and I've talked about this before as well. I said, guys, whenever we come to a situation like this, actually, let me get on a daily for you. It's going to be better. So what you see is whenever we see a situation like this, of course, we come back. But as long as we don't fall below this candle, so this was the breakout candle, as long as we do not have a candle to go below this, it's okay. It's just a confirmation candle, so we always need a confirmation candle. For example, here we had a candle go all the way to the top, got rejected, and this candle was the confirmation that this is going to be bearish, because this candle was a engulfing candle, so it engulfed this entire candle. This is an indication that basically, nope, the market wants to go down. And since then, of course, you can see how the market went down. You know, you can see we had this candle here, but it wasn't an engulfing bullish candle. So guess what? It says that they were a bit iffy. And then you can see this here, and you can see this show up over and over again. This candle here was an engulfing candle. It engulfed all of this area, everything here, which is super, super bullish. But we need a confirmation. As long as this one doesn't take over this candle, we're fine. So this is super, super bullish, but as I said, it's got a long ways to go. I think Cardano is going to come out with some crazy stuff. Also, Sunday Swap just recently posted something on Twitter as well, so do follow them. And they mentioned how they're coming out with some sort of a DEX. Could be real, could be not, but ultimately news is news, and anything bullish is obviously going to start pumping the coin. So Cardano looks positive right now. I think this is exactly where they wanted Cardano to go. And we did do this drawing the other day, and I showed you guys how we had this strong resistance here way back, which we broke, and now this has become support. So we have data from prior history, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points in history, which have now confirmed this should be a strong support, and this was a support, and we had a perfect bounce, and we could see a nice little breakout of this range. Of course, we need to get back to the top of the range in order for us to get more confirmation, more validity, and how would I say this, more positive energy. So let's see what happens there. Should be pretty awesome. Let's see. Alpha says, I think that institutions need to make now end of the year counting, and they can allocate more funds in Q1. Yes, exactly. So a lot of the institutions, big institutions, especially the corporations from the, say, the Fortune 500, they usually need to get the account set up by December, submitted by December for the 1st of January. So they have to get this done. They usually have to do the quarterly, tax returns or whatever. They'll have to do that. Even in UK, actually, we do quarterly as well. So that quarterly would have to be done. Of course, we also have another one, which is the budgeting and also some other stuff, usually in March. So depending on which country you are, from January to March, you do see this bearish action. And then obviously, once all the taxation and everything is paid, all your losses and, your P&Ls are done, you can start moving back up again. So I do see something coming, but other than that, nothing too much. Crypto is so big now, only institutional money can move it. The pockets of retail investors are too small to influence big moves. Alpha says, of course, the shrimps, as Willy Woo says, the shrimps in the market don't have enough energy or power to move the market. You are right, but maybe 50-50. You see, institutional money isn't really moving the market. Let me just kind of correct this for you. Institutional money are more interested in OTC, and OTC sadly do not reflect on price. So what institutions are doing, they're buying it off-chain, or on-chain, but they're buying wallet-to-wallet OTC. They're not triggering the price. Institutions are not interested in moving the market to the moon. So they will never ever attempt to push the price. Maybe a little bit of a change here and there, but they are not going to move the price. Whales are totally in control right now. making sure they accumulate as many more as possible. That's what the whales are doing. Institutions are trying to buy it off-chain or OTC so they don't trigger the price. The only people that actually still have the power to move this market is the shrimps. You'd be surprised if 1 million people come on and buy $10 worth on chain, on an exchange, how fast they could trigger the market to push forward. You will be surprised. So I would really love, Alpha, you to go and double check on this, what I've just said, if I'm correct or not, because the on-chain buys is what counts, shows up as the sentiment. So when we're looking at data, I've got two data on this chart, right? I've got the yellow line, which is the RSI, and this red and blue line is the stochastic RSI. So this is an overlap. And what you see here is the yellow line is the on-chain sentiment, means are people buying on-chain or selling on-chain? Like, actual exchanges, are they buying and selling? This is what this yellow line represents. When we look at this blue and red, we're seeing trader sentiment. This means they're not buying and selling, but they're trading it. They're either, exchanging it for one thing or another, or they're trading it one particular direction, whether it be spot trades or leverage trade. It doesn't matter. This is trader sentiment put into one and shows trader sentiment. And we can see trader sentiment is starting to move back up. Traders are interested to move this thing up, right? This is Cardano, right? Now, that's what we're seeing. But the shrimps, the small fella, the retail, trust me, because they have no other way of doing this. They can only buy and sell on an exchange. And that's what gives us the pumps. That's what gives us the pumps. Tamil says he will. Awesome. Custard, is Crow in a falling wedge? Expect a big pump to rebuy. So we're talking about Crow. Let's jump into Crow. Crow, of course, it pumped too high, came back, and yes, it is in a falling wedge, my brother. So you actually identified this correctly. This is definitely in a falling wedge. If you look carefully, if you observe, and we're just going to do the bodies just for the sake of this, we can see a falling wedge forming here. Well, not entirely. It hasn't really become a wedge yet. Okay, I'll be honest with you. So you can see this is a falling triangle, a descending triangle. Again, a descending triangle is a bullish triangle, and it's a bullish pattern. When it does break out, it's still going to create a fresh all-time high. It's going to test the previous and probably hit towards that dollar. So nothing bearish here at all. This is just a falling triangle, a descending triangle. And this is bullish, similar to a falling wedge. It's not a wedge, unfortunately. A wedge looks more like this. This is not a wedge at all. This is just a triangle, descending triangle, super bullish. And you can see how the stochastic RSI is setting up again for the traders to come back in. You can see how the RSI is coming back. So yes, the shrimps, the $10, $100 guy, is not buying much. So a lot of on-chain buying and selling action has been happening, and you can see it's selling a lot more. So the sentiment online has been low, right? On-chain has been low. So we are not seeing that. Maybe we're seeing OTC, that's a different story. But trader sentiment is coming back, resetting. I mean, this is being super low. If you look carefully, right, we're coming back into these bigger zones where we've come back to retest these technical lines here. I mean, we can even put a line here, and you can see how we're coming back to test these lines here, and then we start moving back up. And whenever we do these from these levels, you can see these are massive moves. These are moves that push the market up. So yes, great buy zone. I'm going to be buying some dips because obviously I'm super bullish on this. So I'm going to be buying a lot more dips, and we'll see where we go from there. Now, let's have a look at more chats. Mustafa says, bro, what's dollar cost average? Everyone talks about it. Please give an example. Much appreciated. Okay, much love, much appreciated. All right, let's do some dollar cost average for you. So there's two ways of doing dollar cost average. I'm going to switch off all the drawings and I'm going to just show you this, right? There's two ways of doing dollar cost average. One, so you've got to follow a few rules here. Number one rule, you decide how much money you want to average in per week, per day, per month. So depending on your, say you receive your wages, you work and you receive your wages once a month or once a week, whatever. You first got to decide how much of that money you don't need. So we're going to make an assumption here, and we're going to say $100 or £100 or 100 euros, wherever you are, right? So you have $100 set aside that you don't really need. All your bills are paid, everything. Market starts to move up. So you are now dollar cost averaging in on the way up. So what you do, say for example, every month, right? So we go on a monthly, right? We're on a monthly now. And just for the sake of it, say you're here, you buy $100 on that specific day that you get paid. You buy $100. Next month, same date, payday, $100, $100. And it doesn't matter if the market's going up or down. So what you're doing is you're buying $100 on the way up, right? That means any dips or anything within that month doesn't impact you, and you're accumulating more and more. You're accumulating more and more. Sorry, just nodding to my missus. You're accumulating more and more. So that's what happens. So it doesn't matter whether the market's been bullish or bearish, you've been making money, or you've been accumulating your coin. That's your dollar cost average in. Now, the market starts to flip down. Now, anybody who dollar cost average in and is doing it for a year or 2 years, has a set time and says, oh, I'm going to do it for 5 years, fine. Your $100, that's what you buy. $100, $100, $100. If you bought it for 5 years, you've only spent $6,000. So you spend $6,000 buying this, but market starts coming down and you see this red bloody month, and you've come to the end of the month, you're like, this month's red. Well, you're going to get, you double down or do buy the same amount, you get more. You get more here than you got on this month. It comes down even more. You're getting more of that coin than you did before. Now, of course, some people say, well, what about dollar cost averaging down? That's fine as well. You started here at the top of the market, or let's just say here at the top of the market. And this is just for reference, guys. It's got nothing to do with the price. You're still buying $100 while you're going down. Every candle, you will buy more and more of that asset than you would have on the previous month. So it doesn't matter. Just set your time, set your quantity, your amount of money you're going to spend, set your time frame, weekly, monthly, whatever, and then your end goal. Okay, I'm going to do this for the next 5 years. That's what I recommend normally anyway. I hope this kind of explains. So it doesn't matter if you're dollar cost averaging, it doesn't matter when you enter. Right, next one. Tamil says, your thoughts on NFT and metaverse. I'm a whale, bought some SMB. SMB, what is SMB, my brother? Let's see. Metaverse, listen, I said that quite a SMB. Let me just check SMB. Okay, I don't see SMB here, so bro, I won't be able to check it. But let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about how the metaverse is looking right now. The metaverse right now is become another hype. So remember, months ago, we had the NFT hype. Everybody's now doing an NFT. That stopped. Now it's become the metaverse thing, right? So everyone's doing metaverse. Of course, we're going to have 1,000, we're going to have 2,000, we're going to have 5,000 different metaverses. And every one of them is going to pump and dump and do whatever. You can be a whale, you can be whatever, you can be a shrimp, it doesn't matter. There's only going to be 1 or 2 that are going to be crowned king. So when you choose wisely. That's all I'm going to say. And if you've made money, or if you can take your initial investment out, that's what I'm going to advise. Take your initial investment out, because 99.99% of those metaverse and the NFT gaming coins will fail. Alpha says, dollar cost average, you buy regularly crypto no matter what. Okay, he's explaining that. At a SOL now, it's 160 SOL equals SMB. Thoughts on NFT and metaverse? Still, same thing, bro. That's what I just said. The metaverse and everything is oversaturated. Trust me. That's why what I'm doing now is I'm just buying cheap, and as soon as the price pumps, I dump the whole lot. I don't care. I'm not holding any of them. I have zero interest to hold any of them. So please do understand. And NFTs or wash trading and insider trading in my yeah, Alpha says that's what it is. And pretty much, yeah, a lot of these NFTs and everything, it's just a lot of people falling into the hype. The other day I mentioned about Matic, that I don't like the Matic founders. Why? Because when the NFT hype came out, they're all about NFT, and now the NFT gaming hype came out. Go and look at how many projects they are backing themselves. They're putting their name behind it. Why? Because they want to get the hype, they want to get the pump. You know, if you go on Fiverr.com, for God's sake, go and see how many NFT game designers have just popped up all of a sudden, you know, and they'll build you a game for next to nothing. Why? Because everyone's doing the copycat, and I'm telling you, half of them probably won't work. As usual, 99% of the crypto projects that launch are scams until they're not. And what that means is when they've made enough money, and if they have good intention, of course they will make it a success and they will survive. But remember, it's all noise, it's a hype, it's all going to fail, it's doomed, right? It's definitely going to go, because there's only going to be one or two crowned the king, and those are the survivors that you want to stick around with, you know. So for me, I choose the ones I can see most money and most people connected to, not the ones that just because I'm buying it cheap or I'm going to make a whole lot. I'm not into the hopium. I hope that kind of makes sense, bro. Okay, Mustafa got the answer from Alpha. Awesome, guys. I'm not going to make this any longer. I'm going to shoot. I need a pee, basically. I'm dying. I had too many coffee. But I'm going to shoot. But I hope you guys understood exactly what all of this means. And I hope you guys understood what the signal is that JPMorgan is sending out right now. And how the market looks. Just go and look at this stuff and you see what all of this means. And because of this news, you can also see the stock markets, the what's it called, the Dixie, not the Dixie chart, sorry, my bad, the SPX 500. If you go and look at that, you'll see how it started to flip back up again and it's becoming more bullish. So I see. Okay, I'll check on that one. So that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing the market starting to become bullish, but not on chain, and I'm not happy about this. I want to see a lot more on chain. Alpha Ping says, what's your opinion on decentralized liquidity pools for yield earning? Absolutely fine. It totally depends, right? So one of the biggest problem with decentralized liquidity pools is money's got to be pulled in from somewhere. So in order to do this, we have to have a lending mechanism and an interest mechanism, basically. So we have to get the money from somewhere, because I've seen too many pools with nothing in them. And you know you can do that, right? But what we need to do is make sure the money's coming somewhere. So we need a borrowing mechanism. So we say we lend, right, to whether exchanges or people to do trades or leverage, whatever. You've got to be able to lend crypto in order to actually earn some crypto back. Once you earn that, then you can use that as a decentralized pool for yield earning. So your yield should be coming from somewhere. You can't just have imaginary yields. It's a method we've talked about on Paradexes, for example. We've discussed this with the developers, and we said if we have Paradex holders or the LP token holders, and if they lock their tokens into a yield farm, they should be able to earn some of whatever the other side coin is. And the methodology we used was very simple. We said if projects are going to be launching on Paradexes, the launch pad, then the users who are supporting to secure the network with their LP locking or staking and this and that, they should be rewarded in the other coin. So you can see we can't magically generate yield, but we can generate yield from other projects if they're willing to join with us, and as a giveaway to create a secure network and a secured yield pool. So it is quite technical, but I do know some projects they just make money come out from nowhere, and I just don't understand how they do it. LP tokens etc, but maybe next time we can go in depth in time consuming topic. Of course, yeah, definitely. Mac Jason, our resident bear, since when those guys help Moon Boys? It's not about Moon Boys, Mac. It's not about Moon Boys. This whole JPMorgan thing, JPMorgan's not talking about crypto. Please do understand this. But what they have been talking about, and what a lot of people, if you go to WHO, they've recently talked about it. I mean, there's one tiny fella that I don't really like. His name is Fauci. He's talked about it. Anthony Fauci, he's talked about it, and many other people have actually talked about how this Omicron is actually killing off the old one, and it's actually becoming a lot more healthy, you know, in a sense that it's killing off the whole thing, and this could actually see a quicker recovery for the pandemic, nothing else, right? A quick recovery, that's what we're expecting. So yeah, I mean, that's all it is. But this is giving a signal to all the stock market traders to stop panicking and dumping their coins or their stocks and continue, because this could be a great opportunity to buy the dip. And this is pretty much what we've been doing. We've been buying the dip. Of course, we're not in stock market, we're in the crypto, and that's what I've been doing. I've been buying as much crypto as I can. These are discounts. These are discounts. So I know, Mac, you are a bear. That's fine. You want to short the market, my brother. Good luck to you. It doesn't matter. As I said, I wish you the best. Make as much money as possible, and I love you anyway, right? But I'm buying the dip because I want to accumulate more coins. So I'm not in it for the, like, when it comes to shit coins, I'm in it for the money. Shit coins are all about money. Make as much money, dump the whole thing, get the hell out. That's what I do with shit coins. When it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to Ethereum, when it comes to Solana, when it comes to Cardano, even obviously not as much when it comes to Crow, when it comes to Sol, when it comes to DOT, I want to buy the dip. I want to accumulate more and more. So if you're making money, good luck to you. I want to make more coins. Okay, so MF says, thoughts about odds. Rings a bell, come on. So I'm sure I've talked about odds sometime. Odds. Let's have a look at odds. At 53 cents, 100 million coins. Looks very good. So far looking good. Looks like it's had a massive dip. Wow, okay. So it's a fresh coin. It's a fresh coin. It's already had some sort of a dump. Let's see if it's on. Oh, okay, it's on TradingView. Okay, I'll have a look at this. It's on Ethereum. Okay, that's good. We have 2,438 holders. Awesome. Let's see who the holders are. We see 61% on a contract, which is good. I do like that. 10% on another contract, another 10% on another contract. And then we see some on KuCoin and XYZ, Gate.io. This is good. I don't see much of an issue. So let's go and check odds. Just a quick one. I'm not going to run with this forever. So we see KuCoin here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's go into daily and see the structure. So we can see that after it's come on KuCoin, even though the official structure that we see here, so the data we see here when we're looking at the price and we're looking at this dump, right, we can see that this is where it is. And from around this area here, we can see how the KuCoin pump helped it come back. But it's nowhere near its all-time high or anything like that. I mean, I've got to double check. Hold on, let me just check what was the all-time high. So all-time high was $3. So we're currently, if we're sitting at 56, approximately we're 5x below the price. That's like 500% from here. So for this thing to go back to where it needs to, it's got a long ways to go. However, you know, if you're buying it now and if you're looking at this particular thing, we do see a nice little trend here. Again, this is all being favored by the market right now because the market is positive. If the market is positive, there's no reason why coins like this can't even pump. You know what I mean? When we're looking at the market cap, 20 million is nothing. You know, of course, we can look at the project and say what the project is. Multi-chain options and derivatives trading platform on Binance Smart Chain, Polkadot, Ethereum. Users who trade customers options with rewards. Not bad. So they have a derivatives trading platform. Awesome. I might have to talk to them and see if we can incorporate them and probably have a partnership with them for Paradexes, because that's some of the functions we're going to be doing. But I'll take some more time later because I am bursting right now, guys. I am freaking bursting, so I don't want to talk about this too much. Right, let's jump into 1 second. Do you know what? Hold on. You guys hold on. I'm going to pee. I'll be back. I'm bursting. Stay on the line. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Right. Now I'm feeling a lot more relaxed. I think I could do this. Oh my. Right, but even then I'm not going to give you too long. I'm going to give you guys another 8 minutes of my time. Right, so thoughts on that done. Alpha says, PS, I hope only discuss tokens in the top 2030 market cap, as a lot of shitcoin requests. Yes, there are. And Alpha, I'll be honest with you, I don't mind people giving me shitcoin requests. I'll just, as long as I can open their minds up and say, guys, look, this is what's going on. So I like to give people advice and say, guys, there are shitcoins out there. Just be careful and see what it is. And of course, like things like odds, if they're doing some sort of a technology and if they're legit, I will contact them and I will say, guys, maybe you want to collaborate, maybe you want to share some of the scripts with me, you know, some of the smart contracts, let me see, because I want to see the smart contracts, you know what I mean? And if they're legit, if they work, I will definitely check it out. So that's one of the things that I always do. I'm like, I don't mind, as long as it's on the coin market cap, I will definitely talk about it. I've got no issues. And of course the top 2030, I mean, if you look at my list, right, this is my holding. Okay, I'll give you a good example of my holding. So of course this is BTC, and this is the reason you see all of these BTC here is because these are all the exchanges that I'm on as well. So sometimes I use arbitrage, so I want to go and see what the prices are on different exchanges. Of course, BTC dominance, Ethereum dominance. Now if you look at the coins that I personally hold, Ethereum, BNB, DOT, Solana, Cardano, Shiba, eGold, KSM, Gala, BitDAO, AVAX, 1inch, Aave, Matic, Link, Sushi, VET, Mbox, Arweave, Uniswap, Theta, Zilliqa. These are the ones I personally hold, right? Anchor, Atom, Bakery, Cake, Coty, right? Coty actually I used to hold, but I don't hold anymore, but I do still keep it because I know I've got a few investors who actually work with me. I manage their funds for them and they hold Coty, so I also need to keep a close eye on Coty, right? So that's Coty. Doge, I have some investors who actually have invested in Doge, so again I manage their portfolios for them, so I have to monitor this for them. But Dot, Engine, Clay, you know, Neo, Reef, RSR, Solana, obviously, Sushi, Tomo has been a really lovely coin. I picked it up for like 20-30 cents. I can't remember. So cheap. TRX, again, I manage this for clients, right? So some of them, you can see they're purple. They're managed for the clients. They're not actually coins I personally hold. The coins I hold are like these ones. Anything here, I will dump. So anything in orange, I will dump. Anything not, you know, some of them you'll see they don't have anything next to them. These are coins I will dump. Anything sitting in red or green, right, especially the green ones, I hold. All right, those are long term. So Luna, long term, VThor, long term, Rune, long term, VET, long term, Ramp, long term. You know, these red ones never sell, right? So I do have a whole bunch of coins, as you can see on my list, and usually they're within the top 100 to top 200. Of course, there are some fresh coins there too, but those are there. Like for example, Woo is a fresh coin, right? But that's there because I'm super bullish on it. I believe that it's going to make some moves. It's institution backed. That's one of the reasons why I hold them. Phantom, of course, you got to hold Phantom, right? So there are some coins here, Serum and this and that. You can see my whole list. I'm happy to share my whole list. This is my list that I have. You know, again, I don't hold majority of the coins and I'm not interested in most of them. So yeah, Alpha Ping says ADA is dead. Pure personal statement. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I believe ADA is dead as well. But for me, you have to understand, I bought Cardano at 6 cents, at 10 cents, at 15 cents. So for me, Cardano is not dead. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm still up. Even from my 15 cents, I'm up. I don't know what, 10x. So end of the day, it's not really dead for me, if that makes any sense, right? So there are plenty of coins out there which look like they're dead. They're not dead. They will come back. You know, when we're looking at the top 100, that's what I trust the most. Anything that manages to get into the top 100, I do trust the most. The reason being is because usually when you can see on the top 100, usually it's the $1 billion market cap, and I follow the money. Remember, for me, where the most money is where I want to be as well. Of course, the top dogs are the top dogs, and according to how much money is invested in it and how much interest there is, my portfolio also shows up like this. So for example, my highest amount of coins that I hold is BTC. The second most is Ethereum. Technically, and this is funny, this is no joke, actually my holding is pretty much similar to this structure here. Now let me explain. My highest amount is this, my second most highest amount Ethereum, my third most highest amount is BNB, my fourth highest amount is actually Cardano, right? And then I've got Solana, and then I've got Polkadot. So you see, I'm in this list, and my coin portfolio also is related to this. You know, Terra Luna, I'm very bullish on this. I mean, it's doing fantastic. Another brand new all-time high. Happy days. Avalanche, you know, love the coin. Shiba, crypto.com. Shiba was an accidental coin that I just had a hunch and I bought it and I made a shit ton of money on it. So I'm really happy. But I sold everything. I dumped everything during the pump. I sold all of my SHIB. And I'll show you this. You'll understand more. So on this channel, I've taken it off now. Was it this one? Hold on, let me see if I've got it on the other one, because I've got two SHIB charts here. Let me see if it was on this one, because I did dump it at a very specific level. It was 0.6, 0. Whatever 6 or something like that. That's where I dumped it, and I never looked back. And I'm holding right now. I'm holding. Oh, there it is. Sorry, this chart here. So you see this chart here, I did have a line here, and I dumped at this specific level, 6.2. So this is where I had my sell order, and I dumped, and then I bought back again around this level, and I kept my profit, kept my initial. So for me, whatever I hold now is from pure profit money. It doesn't hurt me whether the market goes up or down, if that makes any sense. So that's how I kind of play my game. You know, yes, there are high risk coins that I will have in my portfolio, but Alpha says yes. Will you dump Cardano? Yes, I will. I will definitely dump Cardano at some stage, but not yet. As I said, for me it doesn't make much of a difference, and I do have a very large stash. I was super bullish back in 2018, and I kept on buying. I bought 2018, 2019. As I said to you, I bought it at those three levels. I bought it at the 6, I bought it at the 10, and I bought it at the 15. And that last buy I had was in 15, and that was probably my biggest bag, because I was so bullish. And then I didn't buy any. So I do hold a significant amount of Cardano, and 75, I would say actually 90% of my Cardano is locked on a staking pool, earning me more Cardano. So while the market's been going up or going down, it hasn't really affected me. In fact, I'm still making money on Cardano, so it'll be kind of stupid for me to sell. Also, the amount of money I've made on Cardano right now is actually quite silly for me to even attempt to take any money out. It's just technically all of it, 99.9% is just free money. So it's silly, you know what I mean? Dump Cardano and allocate to FBTC. No, you see, if I was to dump Cardano, I'd rather dump it on Cardano BTC, ADA BTC. Look, you're gonna be surprised. Check this out. Cardano BTC is doing really well. So if I was going to dump it anywhere, I'd rather dump it into BTC right now and make more BTC. But again, as I said to you, my holding is so large for Cardano, and it's making me money on the staking rewards that I'm doing directly on Cardano. I'm getting a lot more. And remember, 70% of all Cardano out of that 45 billion is actually locked in staking anyway and earning more rewards. So it's just wiser for me to stay there. I see Funky and Edgy. Awesome. Nice name. Nice. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show. Brother or sister, it doesn't matter, but welcome to the show. So yeah, I mean, some of these coins, I've gone beyond the point where dumping it doesn't make any difference to me. Of course, I am going to dump at some stage, because listen, I'm not hanging about hoping this is going to do this or that's going to do this. I did that when I was at the bottom of the market, and I've explained this even yesterday's video. I had I was talking to Albin, and I said to Albin the same thing as well. I said, Albin, I've bought most of my shit coins, and let me go on weekly just to kind of show you and take this off as well. All right, most of my shitcoin buys have been here, right back here in this 2018-2019 region. That's where I bought a whole shit ton of coins, and all I did was start selling them as soon as we started peaking up here. So the conviction and the trust I had in them was here, and I've made a whole ton. But now sitting at Cardano around this level here, it doesn't make any sense for me. Do you know what I mean? So I've gone beyond that point where I need to be worried about dumping or anything like this. You know, and it's got nothing to do with hopium or anything. It's just the point that, look, I've bought, I'm here right now. You know, as long as this market doesn't show me complete flip bearish, which is like at the $1 level, if it goes to $1, I'm happy to dump. And even then, I'm still up like 9x. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. And then I'll pick up the bottom again and I'll carry on. But because I'm earning a significant amount of staking reward, my losses have been balanced out. I'm not actually at a loss, even at these prices. You know, even from $3 to there, because it was briefly at $3. So I'm still making a whole shit ton of Cardano, and I'm getting them for free. I ain't complaining. I love free money. I love it. Let's see what he says. Hi. Alpha says he understands and he was just curious. Of course, remember, listen, I follow this one rule, and I have a couple of videos as well. If I put, say for example, I invest $1,000 into something, the moment my $1,000 becomes $2,000, I'll take my initial investment out. So I'm one of those very, very careful type of an investor. If I double my money, and my target's always double, right? So I don't cut my losses. If I've made a loss, I stick around. And whenever I have a target, my target's always 100%. 100%. That's it. I don't care about the 1000x. Forget that. 100%. If I can make 1,000 into 2,000, I'll sell half. I'll take half out. And that's what I did with Cardano as well, funnily, right? The only coin I didn't do it, and I'll be honest with you guys, right? There was only 2 coins in my entire portfolio, and I'm talking including BTC and Ethereum. There's only 2 coins that I've never taken my initial out, and that was Polkadot and Solana. Never took my initial out, but I had no reason to. It was just one of those kind of coins, like, you know, you put $1,000 in, just sit when you're buying it, so dirt cheap, just sit on it. You know, BNB, I took my initial out. Every other coin actually that I own, I took my initials out already, you know. So as soon as I flipped 100%, I took it and I left the rest, and those amounts are now doing more. Of course, if I left all my money there, I would have had double the quantity right now, but I wasn't interested. I wanted to play the safe game, and that's what I did. I used to get into BTC when I was around 250 and already got wet feet around 370, would just have known better. Yes, I mean, I did the same, bro. So this is the same. Actually, funnily, you're mentioning the 250 because, yeah, I was buying around the $200, $250 level, $300 level, $400 level. And I did the same thing. I took 1,000. When it became 2,000, I took my 1,000 out. That's how I play this game. My strategy hasn't changed in the last 6 years that I've been in it, 5-6 years at least. Hasn't changed. It's been the same strategy over and over again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Same strategy. And this is why it doesn't bother me if the market goes down. And because I've taken my initial out at a very early stage, I'm always ready to buy the dip. You know, so I've always got more cash sitting on the side. If that makes sense, right? That's what I do. Hodl now. Alpha says that's why I hodl now. Time the market is a good is too hard for me. It's not just for you, bro. It's for everybody. Nobody can time the market. This is one of the reasons why I specifically mentioned this one particular chart to everybody. I say, guys, if you are going to be in BTC, you are going to do this, you know, understand that the top is the hardest thing to predict. Right? We can use some of these metrics and say, well, guys, this is telling us that currently, if we had a top today, we should be around $142,000. That's all this is. It's a Fibonacci sequence that tells us that's the top we should have expected today. But one thing this does do is gives us the bottom, and we love the bottom because it's telling us that based on all of these metrics and based on the Fibonacci sequence where the bottom could be. That's something I am, I can use this, and so far it's been accurate. So this is something I do like, and I always mention to everybody on this channel, and they have, the guys who have followed me for a year now, it's been just over a year, they know this very well. I don't care where the top is. I want to know where the bottom is, because the bottom is where I'm going to buy, and I'm going to make the most amount of money on these runs up, right? So whenever we go to the top, I'm afraid, because I don't know, is this the last day? Right? So when we're looking at this on a weekly, for example, is this the last week, or do we have a few more weeks left? And that's the uncertainty that we have, and we can't predict the top. We can predict the bottom. We can say, well, this, like just by looking at fibs, right, we can say, oh, this could be the new bottom, this could be the bottom, this could be the bottom. We know these areas, and that's what helps us. That's what helps us. So, and as I said, so far it's been very, very accurate. The only time it wasn't was here, guys. This 2020 dump we had, of course everyone calls it a black swan event. It's the only time that I wasn't able to predict that this was going to happen, but as long as I was around this line here, when I saw this market along this line here, for me it just made sense. This is the perfect opportunity to buy. And the moment I went bullish, and I'll tell you when I entered the market properly, was this specific candle here. The moment I saw that this was bouncing here, creating these higher highs, and then it broke out over this green line, for me that was bullish. Of course I held, I didn't do nothing, and then the market dumped. I didn't care. I started accumulating more around here, and then we had the flip here, right? And for me that was it. It was like, okay, this, now I'm seeing this come back. But what you realize is the difference. So from here, when I bought it, right, when I started seeing this and I became super bullish, and when this dumped, I bought the dip here. After the dip, I was up by almost 50-60%, and that was my indicator. And I actually opened a leverage trade around here. I think it was around here somewhere. I opened a leverage trade, and I didn't close the trade until somewhere, I think it was like March, April, something like this. I can't remember, or May even. I can't remember, but I did close my trade up there, and yeah, I made some significant gains there. And it was a BTC to BTC trade. So if I win, I get BTC. Do you know what I mean? So there are times, as I said, market bottoms are quite easy actually, and this has been accurate so far. So let's see. Funny is how many people always say, would know about BTC 10 years ago, I would be rich, but I guess only 1% have the stamina to hold long term. Exactly. So this is the situation. It's like everybody wants to, it's like, I wish I could go back. Stop thinking about that. Plan what you're going to do now. What's your plan now? And this is the strategy I'll talk about. Say, have your strategy. You entered the market. What is your strategy? Whether you're going to dollar cost average to get into this market, great. Dollar cost average all the time. Don't shoot your pants whenever the market goes down. Keep on dollar cost averaging. Fix your term. Right. You don't want a dollar cost average? Fine. You want to know the perfect entry? Fine. How much money are you going to put in? $100, $1,000, $100,000, a mil? Make your mind up and say, that's my entry. One of the reasons, like Michael Saylor, market's dipping, he buys more and more and more. Why? He's literally bought every single dip, because he's not thinking today. He's not thinking a year from now. He's thinking 100 years from now, probably, regardless whether he is or not. But the point is, he has a long-term vision, and that's what a lot of people don't have. They freak out. Like when we see this market being bloody and red, like, this is the market is dumping, everything looks bearish, everything looks red. Well, these are the times you buy. This is when you buy the dips. If you look at the last few thumbnails that I did, we are bulls, we buy the dips. This is why we do it, because we want to accumulate more of that 21 million coins. Because the vision is not for today. It's a long-term vision. It's a vision that goes, into the future. I mean, for me, I've set my time 2030. So for me, my BTC exit is at 2030. Funnily, my Ethereum exit strategy is 2025. So it's not as long. And I don't hold Ethereum from like 2016. No, I hold Ethereum from 2019. But my strategy, I fixed that time. I said 2025. 2025, that's when I want to go, you know, so not before that. So 2025 was already set. Now think about that. I set 2025 in 2019. So I set myself a 6-year target. My BTC back in 2015, I said I'm not going to get out until 2030. So I have a nice little stash sitting there. Of course, I don't have any initial investment because I took that out. Yeah. And this is the kind of stuff you need to have a strategy. You need to have conviction. You need to know what you're doing. What are you in it for? You know, do you want to be the day trader? That's fine. Go and do your day trade. It doesn't matter what price it is. Do you want to be a leverage trader? Fine. Go and leverage trade, long the market, short the market. Good luck to you, because you're going to get wrecked more than you're going to win. Right? You know, you want to do dollar cost averaging. Fine. Fix your term. Do it. 1 year, 6 months, whatever, you know, 5 years. Do it, not an issue, you know. And if you're just buying like, okay, I want to just go and dump a whole bunch of money, fine, you know, but you got to know what your strategy is. Are you going to do it for 1 year, for 6 months, you know, for 3 months? Fine, you did it for 3 months. Your Bitcoin start moving up, like the market starts to move up here. You've been in it for 3 months. You hit the top. Did you exit? Because if you haven't, you know, then your strategy was wrong. You have to have discipline to say, I'm entering here, I'm exiting there. You know, I want to do this. Like, for example, I talk about shit coins on exchanges, right? There's a whole bunch of them on exchanges that come out, these ICOs or whatever you want to call them. I literally participate and I dump it. On that same day, I have my alarms on. I'm not joking. I have alarms set up to buy, to participate, and then dump the whole thing because I don't care. And I'm accumulating more and more of these exchange coins. I'm super bullish on exchange coins, by the way. You probably noticed. I buy all the exchange coins and I sit on that relevant exchange and I accumulate more and more by participating in shit coins, right? So I'm trying to increase my portfolios in these exchange coins because I feel all exchange utility tokens will always have some sort of a utility, and if I can increase my holdings there, I can accumulate more. Of course, every now and then I do get other coins that come towards me which I do like and I hold, like WooCoin. I received a whole bunch of them for locking some BitDAO tokens on Bybit exchange, right? I'm holding them. I didn't dump those Woo tokens because I feel they're valuable, because I've already bought some. I got some more for free. I'm a happy dude. I got some D-Travel the other day for, again, just locking my Bybit token. Again, I'm happy to hold them because I think they have a future. You know, there are some coins that I will hold, but most of them I'll dump because that's my strategy. That was my intention. I didn't falter. I did not change my mind at the last second. If I've said I'm going to be in it for 6 months, then I've got an alarm set up to get out at 6 months. If I've said that's the price where I want to sell, that's the price where I'm going to be selling. Do you know what I mean? I'll give you a good example of what I'm talking about. That's the price where I'm going to be selling. So you've seen this chart, and I'm going to call this the last one, guys, because we can go on forever with this, right? So let's just look at this. Activate the drawing. So this was my target. This was my target. This was my range of my target, and I'm going to activate this just to highlight the price. So my range of this particular target was between 56 to 83. Currently, we're in the middle of my target. Have I hit my target? No. Think about it. I have not hit my target because my target was $83. So what I'm going to be doing is having an order around the 80, 81, maybe 82, most probably 80, and I'm going to be dumping this. Why? Because I feel that we are going to see a nice little pullback around this area. Provided we're still within this box, within this zone, I'm going to wait for the dip, maybe a $5, $10 dip. It doesn't have to be something significant, but if I see $80 come back to $75, I'm going to buy back. Now I've accumulated a little bit more coins than I had before, you know, but again, look at my lunar play. My lunar play's been from here. So if you just do the percentage where I am already, it's just somewhere from here to all the way up here. Just do the percentage and that will totally make sense to you why I played the game the way I did. That's a 37,000% gain. I'll leave that with you to think about it. That's the kind of gains you can make. But of course, if you look at this, did I make 37,000% on my initial buy? No. This is my profit money because my initial exited already when I made 100%. That was my rule. I kept to my rule. I didn't break my rule. I'm not a hypocrite. If I can't trust myself, I can't be disciplined enough, and I can't make these decisions to make these massive gains with zero investment. Oh man. Alpha says, I will never exit BTC and ETH if the real world starts accepting it as collateral for house loan, for example. Yeah, that's fine. Listen, I don't use the word never. Never say never. The reason I don't say this is because, yes, it could be used as collateral, could be used as XYZ, but there will be a time when this specific situation that you've mentioned arises. It will be stabilized. I don't want to be in a stable currency because that's not where I make money. So of course I'm going to abandon the horse. I'm going to go somewhere else. I don't say never also because end of the day there has to be a time when I have to cash out, or maybe I'm not going to live long, so I'm going to have to pass it on. So all of this still accounts. It can't be never. So for me, I'll never sell it. Fine, I might pass it on to somebody because I'm not going to live forever unless there's a way of basically making me immortal. Then yeah, never. You know what I mean? But I'm not immortal. You know, there's always a time for everybody. Our time is ticking, and based on that, I know I'm going to have to pass it on. To me, passing it on is the same as basically selling or anything, regardless whether I take money for it or not. Still me passing it on. So you know, I'm never going to say never. And if the market stabilizes, then I'm not going to be in it anyway. I'm going to find something else that is not stable, that is pumping, it's going to make me money. That's what I'm going to go to. Alpha says, my house bank is planning to discuss BTC as collateral next year for house loans. Many banks are doing this actually. They are thinking about opening this whole new ecosystem where you can use your crypto as collateral. And of course, we're already using this. I mean, if you think about it, we are using collateralized loans without the need for a KYC, or actually KYC, yeah, but we don't need your credit score. So you can have the worst credit score on the planet. If you've got $1 million worth of crypto somewhere, you can leverage that and actually take fiat money and still pay it back. And if the market goes up, it doesn't make any difference. You're only paying back what you borrowed. That already exists from Nexo, from BlockFi, from Celsius, from other places. You can actually take a loan on that crypto, move around and do whatever you want. I have tested Nexo and brilliant. It was like a 5-minute job. Boom, 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 press the buttons, happy days. I had the money in my bank. Brilliant. So yeah, at least there is an exciting time to have, whatever it goes. Exactly, my brother. So that's the most important thing. Yes, I don't think this is just the beginning. Listen, we're in phase 0 of this crypto sphere, and what I mean by that is we are not even an adult yet in this industry. If you think about it, we are what, 13 years, coming up to 13 years now. You know, we're 12 years young, 13 years young. This industry hasn't seen anything. We haven't matured enough yet. When we do mature, it's going to be on another level. Gomez says, just lost our support. This right back to 52. So Gonzalez says that we just lost our support on BTC, heading towards 52. Let's have a look and see what happened. Yes, we have lost the support and we have just come down here and we're holding at the 55. As long as it doesn't go below, and Gomez, I just want you to observe this. So there is a critical point here today. Today we do have a $54,400 level. If we break below this 54,000, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to place this here. This is today's candle, right? So you got to place it on today's candle. So if we just zoom into this, make total sense to you. So we have this trend line here, this greater trend line here, you can see. right? This greater trend line here, as long as we can hold on this trend line, it's fine. If we fall below this trend line, it's game over, right? Then I will be bearish. But right now, I'm not going to pull out. I'm still going to be sticking around. I'm still okay because all I'm seeing is a higher low. So I see a low here, I see a higher low. It's fine. This is a trend and it is holding the trend. Of course, if you look carefully, we did attempt on this specific candle. If you just look at the top here, you can see on this very same candle, we did at this point here test that bottom line here. So it's okay. I'm not bothered. It is testing the trend. It's fine. It's well within the zone. It got pulled back again. You can see this green area here. I do have this support range here, right? If you look carefully, it's holding that support range here, and it's fine. I'm not concerned about this, so don't panic. Listen, the market will do slightly opposite to what you think. The market always does this. It does the opposite of what the herd thinks. So if you think the market's going to go up, it's actually going to go down. And this is exactly why I was afraid when we hit that $69,000 level, right? When we hit that level, I said, guys, I'm afraid this is not right. So when people start becoming over bullish, market's going to do the opposite. Now I can tell you majority of the people are freaking out. They are literally freaking out. They are ready to dump their BTC, and that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be dumping their BTC, and this is the exact point where the bulls come in and snipe those BTC, and we take them off your hands. Every weak hand will lose, and we will take that, you know. So you know, Gomez, you think this night back to 52? I can tell you, bro, if it goes to 52, it creates so if you look carefully here, right, this $52,000 level, actually it's at here 53. Anything below this 53 is a lower low, and that's a trend continuation. Means that this is gonna go down even further, possibly even all the way up to $39,000-$40,000, right? So so you know, all I'm gonna do now is need to buy the dip. Exactly. Alpha understands. You know, expect the unexpected. The market is gonna do exactly the opposite of what the herd thinks, because that's how the sentiment is calculated. The whales, the bulls, they're not dumb money, you know, they're just waiting this. So I'm going to be going and sniping myself some BTC. I'm going to put a buy order at the 53 actually. I'm going to put a buy order at 53 just in case. And I'm also going to put a buy order. I'll tell you, there's two areas actually I've just noticed. So I'm going to put a buy order around here, which is the 48. I will put a buy order at the 48, and then I would have a buy order approximately at the $40,000 level. And of course, my lower levels are already there, so I'm not fast. I do have a $20,000 level from way back in May. I have a 20,000 buy. I have a buy at 25. I have a buy at 30. So those are fine. You know, a little bit there, a little bit here, but end of the day, if I see this going to 53, I want to snipe that 53. That could be a bounce. If I see it go to 48, I want to snipe that bounce as well. And then of course, if it doesn't bounce and if it keeps on going down, that's me technically dollar cost averaging in. I got myself some more BTC, some more sats, you know what I mean? So it's all good news. It's all good news. Expect the unexpected. Guys, thank you very much for coming to the show. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much, Alpha, for coming back to the show, and I'm really sorry that you found the Discord to be slightly boring. As I said, most of the guys there, I know they don't talk, but when they do, trust me, they do go on a rampage, but not always. And of course, for me, it's hard to manage everything, being here, being there, it's really hard, I'm telling you. But they do talk, trust me. Whenever you know, someone starts something, then and massive engagement does start. When the hairdresser talks about owning BTC, time to sell if you trade. And when someone says BTC is dead, time to buy. Exactly. You should be bullish when the whole market is bloody. When there's blood on the streets, that's when you buy. When it's too green, you be afraid. right? Exactly what Alpha says here, right? And remember, my favorite color is red. I love the red candles, right? I've mentioned this so many times. I'm just like, I think I've been on repeat about this for so long. It's probably boring all of you guys. This guy keeps on saying he loves the red. Yeah, I love the red. The red makes me money. The red is where I get more of the coin that I like. So I accumulate more on the red. And if I ever want to dump, I dump at the greens. Do you know what I mean? So if that makes sense. But this particular time, I didn't sell the top, guys. I didn't sell this. I didn't sell any of this because I feel personally this is still okay. The only time I would decide to dump all my BTC is if we break this 52 level. Then I will decide probably to dump any liquid assets I have. Remember, most of my assets are not liquid at all. They are locked on a cold storage away. Nowhere to touch. No way to touch them. You know, no way to access them, put it this way. So I've gone extreme. I can't even access them. But trend is secure. Trend is holding. Bounce on the trend. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah. You know, but just in case if it dips, I will have a buy order at the 54, 53. So other than that, guys, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Thank you, everybody. Alpha says, good night. I joined the YouTube live streams. Awesome, my brother. Thank you very much for coming to the show. I do appreciate you coming over because I wasn't sure when you left. I was like, Alpha came, Alpha left. What happened to Alpha? You know, what happened to Alpha? We've got an Alpha. Did he just go into an Omega? What's going on? But anyways, it's fine. Listen, each to their own. You know, let's see what happens. But ultimately, market is doing its thing. Absolutely fine. Massive dump, by the way. Massive dump. If you look at the dump, this wasn't just a simple dump. This was a freaking big dump. I mean, total dump today, if you look at this, that was $162 billion dump. Lovely, beautiful, spicy. Yeah, that was a very, very spicy dump. Nice. You're probably looking at me and probably thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? Well, spicy because look, trend, downward trend line. Here, we fell below. Fine. We broke out. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Back onto the trend line. Spicy. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on another one very soon, my friends. And yeah, adios, my amigos. Thank you very much.